Hello everybody and welcome to ReZero Season 2 Episode 1 Anime Review. And bloody hell, we've got one question to ask, and that is, who is this? That's what the real question is. Anyway, yeah, memes and jokes aside, it's good. Oh man, it's mental having it back, innit? I mean, even me knowing, because this part, I'm not going to go too deep into this. This episode was basically the end of the 9th light novel, which most of it was in the first season, but this was like the end of it. It kind of ended on a downer note instead of like the happier ending we got in original season 1. But no, yeah, this episode sort of finished that off and made it be like, actually, no, everything sucks. But no, and by sucks I mean for Subaru, not for us, because it was great to watch. It's great to have it back. It's going to be exciting. I think after this is when I'm going to be in the dark, but this episode sort of knew what was going on, which is why I don't think I got as hyped as other people. I'm still hyped though. Let's not sugarcoat it. Anyway, let's jump into the episode, see how it all went down and everything. Let's do this. We open up with the scene that was at the end of the director's cut, the whatever in the carriage scene. Not going to talk about this one too much because I talked about it when the director's cut came out. Basically, the gist of this scene is, who's Rem? Is what Emilia says, and Subaru has the very scared expression on his face, but hey, move past that. We're going to find out actually, who is Rem? That's not what we're finding out. Why is who's Rem? That's what we're finding out. Why is who's Rem? That's good grammar right there. We go to Rem, and we can sort of go back in time a little bit. It does a little like effect, except it's way more ominous and scary than what I just did there. Rem and Crush, they're in their car, because remember they split off from Subaru and get the gang after defeating the White Whale. They went to take the corpse back. That's what they're doing. They're just chatting in the back of the carriage and everything. It's very, I mean, it's like the calm before the storm. It's very like, yes, talking best friends. And everything's about to go bad. Basically, I'll quickly go over it. Rem is worrying because Subaru can't fight. What the hell can Subaru do? That's not why she's worrying, but hey, just because she loves him. Makes sense. And then at one point she says that Crush should smile more. And it's like, yeah. Has she? No, she does smile. Maybe not a full-on smile, but she like, there's a little bit of upward curve there. Anyway, enough about that mushy crap, right? Big explosion goes off. That's less than good. Big explosion goes off. What is that big explosion? It's a white-haired guy, which, I mean, doesn't. Should probably mention the two new characters, I guess, showing up in this bit. I didn't write down their names. I wrote down what they are. Didn't write down their names. We'll get to it when we get to it. So, I mean, that's an easy fix. I could just look back at the episode, but damn it, I want to be honest with you people. I totally missed it, but hey, whatever. Rem saves Crush from getting insta-killed because the dude blows up about 7 carts in a row. So he's pretty strong. He's got a little bit of strength. I think it's fair to say. A lot of people died too. He's just chatting to them, sort of casually, but his facial expressions were really good. He just looked pissed off at everything. It was good facial expressions. Crush attacks him while he's middle of speaking. You don't do that. And it didn't do anything, first of all, and in riposte, he took off her arm without moving. Crush is now missing an arm. Or did they reattach it? Later on, did she have her arm back on? I can't remember. No, I can't remember. But the important thing to note is at this point, she was definitely missing her arm. They went flying. It was good. There weren't even any dragons to come out of the wound. Then another guy shows up, and this guy's been eating people. He looks a bit messed up. He's got long hair. He's sort of like Betelgeuse. This one is more like Betelgeuse than the other one. Basically, they are sin archbishops. Just to let the cat out of the bag a bit. Yeah, so they're, Betelgeuse. These are like 2 more of them. Subaru had it easy compared to Rem. Like, Subaru had like a whole army to take on Betelgeuse. Rem at this point has just got Rem to take on these two. I don't think. I mean, I'm never tell me the odds, but they ain't good odds. It's like playing a gacha game. Don't tell me the odds. They're not good. these two are, I wrote down what their sins are. They are, gluttony was the one that eats people, obviously, should have probably guessed that, I didn't even need to look at my notes. The other one was greed. That one's less obvious, I guess. Sort of when you think about it, kind of makes sense, because he's like, I want to speak. He's being greedy with his speech. You know, he wants, sort of. Again, it's less obvious. They showed up because they heard through the grapevine that the white whale died. They probably sensed it. It's probably a thing they can do. They came to see what's up, basically. And, you know, I mean, what's up is you kill a lot of people now. Rem basically has to fight them by herself. Like, you telling me all the carts got exploded? You're telling me there's not one cart with a few soldiers in it that could help her out? Like, damn, you know, not good for Rem. She has to fight them by herself. She gives a good line where she's like, one day, or sometime soon, a hero will come and be rid of you all, and it's going to be Subaru. It's going to be great. But when she says that, you can kind of tell, oh, she knows she's losing. We know she's losing. And wouldn't you know it, Rem loses. She gives it the old try, but she didn't really stand much of a chance, did she? And yeah, Rem gets chomped. She gets eaten. That's it. She's gone. Rem's dead. Rip. Not quite. But yeah, she gets eaten. That's where we're going to end this first part on a super downer note. Rem has her head bit off, which is distressing. I don't even want to imagine that. So let's just move on to see. Let's see Subaru's reaction to this, shall we? Next thing we know, Subaru and Co have all pulled up to the wreckage. I don't know what you'd call it. I wouldn't even call it a battlefield. The morgue. It's wrecked, is what I'm trying to say. You see Fellis crying over Crush. Subaru's panicking. He's like, "Where is Rem? Where is Rem? Where is Rem?" He runs around looking for Rem. Subaru doesn't understand why no one remembers Rem, because, you know, the white whale's kind of dead, guys. You know, that's why it can't be doing that if it's dead. Makes sense. Spots Rem with a healer and everything. She's alive, but there's nothing they can do to wake her up. And Subaru, I mean, he was a bit mad at the healer, wasn't he? He was like, "You call yourself a healer? Do your damn job and heal her," you know. But then he was angry, and then he sort of like broke down. He was like, "Please, you gotta help her." And it's like, oh, feel bad for poor Subaru. Guy literally can't catch a break. Like, I know for us it's been 4 years or whatever. Like, this is like immediately after dealing with Betelgeuse. Like, Subaru's been thrust into this. Like, let the dude have a day where he can just rest, please. Poor Subaru. But yeah, then he starts shouting desperately at the healer, as I said. And then, this is a bit sort of morbid in a, you know, kind of way. He goes to slit his own throat with a sword that he found nearby. First off, Amelia, stop that man. Where are you? Or anyone else as well. Like Amelia doesn't know what's going on, so presumably the only person she knows is Subaru. So why would she not stick with Subaru? I guess she could be helping heal others. That is kind of very Amelia-ish. But yeah, Subaru's left by himself with a knife, and he's very distraught. He stabs himself through the throat. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that's what he does. To return by death. To, you know, fight Betelgeuse again. To somehow save both Amelia and Rem. He's like, I don't want either of you to die, I'm going to save both of you. So he stabbed himself through the throat. I'm really glad we didn't get to... we saw it like from Subaru's point of view, which in some ways it's kind of worse, but I'm also glad we didn't see it physically go in. You know, that would have been a bit, not even too much. You would have been a bit like, oh, you know, like, oh, don't want to see that. But yeah, he wakes up. He wakes up in the carriage, which is less than ideal. He gets the old "Who's Rem" again. There's nothing he can do unless, you know, this is why you always make multiple save files, Subaru, so then you can load earlier saves if you need to. It's you know, then that way you can save the best girl, you know, and you know, you make both the choices. I'm trying to make a joke here. This part was like, it was a bit gutting, you know, because poor Rem. Regrouping, I guess. They took Rem to a room. At first I thought it was their mansion. It's not their mansion, I don't think. I think it's Crush's mansion, I guess. So Rem's got a room there and everything. He's sat by her, sleeping body, basically saying, oh, he's never seen her sleep because she's seen him sleep, and it's just like idle chat in it, and it makes you feel sad. Then a cat shows up. It's Puck, by the way. I should probably say it's Puck. Puck shows up to exposition, I guess. He's like, hey man, I can't help you or nothing, but here's what the gluttony does. Basically, it eats people. It either eats your memories or it eats your name. And if you get both eaten, you end up like Rem. So, there's that. And it's like, oh, thanks, Puck. And he's like, take care of Amelia. And it's like, yep, thanks, Puck. Off you go, you exposition cat. Nice to have some explanation, though. And Puck was, you know, he's a smart guy. Crush speaks to him after that. And immediately, you can tell in the tone of her voice, something's wrong here. This isn't normal. Something's up. And something is up. She doesn't know his name. It turns out she's lost her memory. That's what... Kind of weird side note. Why would the gluttony dude not always eat both? You know, he's only eaten Crush's memories, but people still remember her. Probably should have said that. It either eats your memories, so you forget everything, or your name, and people forget everything about you. And if it eats both, you end up like Rem. I think I got that right. So why would you not just always do both? Just maybe, I guess it's like, is it like taste different? So like he's not always in the mood for your chicken dinner, right? Sometimes he wants like vegetables, and sometimes he wants vegetables and chicken dinner. This is a terrible analogy, but I guess that's how it works. I have no idea. Yeah, Crush has lost her memory, and then we have the meeting, the round table meeting to discuss what the hell we're gonna do now. Because you know, Crush has lost her memory and everything. The meeting is basically the people we know. Is Wilhelm's there, Felis is there, Crush is there, she's not very helpful, she's not got no memories. Subaru and Amelia are also there. They, you know, talk for a bit. So which is Colt's fault? That's really hard to say. Felis though, kind of a dick. It makes sense why he's being a bit of a dick. He's still a bit of a dick. He blames Amelia because they're after Amelia. They teamed up with Amelia. They're gonna go after them as well. Makes sense. He wants to cancel the alliance and everything. Subaru, of course, is a bit mad. Crush tells Felis to apologise for the earlier thing, for blaming Amelia, not for the alliance. The alliance actually came after, but it's the important bit. Felis doesn't, you know, it's too dangerous to partner with her, which, hey, there's some logic there. There's some logic in what he's saying. Wilhelm disagrees because revenge, though. He's all about that, old Wilhelm. But then it comes out that Felis, actually, he just doesn't want Crush to get hurt or be in danger anymore. And it's like, oh, it's kind of nice, you know? He's a good, loyal friend. But then she's like, I want to make my own decisions. I don't want you making the decision for me. Like a sign of the old Crush is in there somewhere. It shows her eyes, and it's like the same eyes. It was good. It was really good. And then Felis cries. Of course he does. He cries. There was a lot of crying. More crying later, but there was some crying here. And yeah, the alliance is still on. Hey, and then Amelia's like, we should probably tell Roswaal about everything that's happened at some point. And it's like, oh yeah, where the hell is he? He was at a meeting or something. Something about Sanctuary. I don't even know what a Sanctuary is. I don't think we've seen that in the first season. No, because they left to go to the Sanctuary, but we didn't actually go there. That's where Ram and that went. So that's where I guess they're going to head after this. Subaru and Amelia. And is it just them two? It might be just them two. Is Petra with them still, or is no? They probably didn't bring Petra to the battleground littered with, you know, bloody corpses. It's probably a thing they didn't do. They might have though. If they did, they need their parenting license revoked. I know they're not the parents, but they basically are. So whatever. Anyway, meeting adjourned. Subaru is distraught by Rem again. She's, you know, asleep still. Subaru's there. Amelia shows up. Subaru and Amelia talk about Rem for a bit and everything. Amelia's like, oh, I'll tell you what the worst thing is about the memory loss bit. It's just people referring to them differently. Like, Crush calls Felis San at some point. Amelia here, it's Rem San, and it's like, no, that's not what you say. Like, they say it and it sounds alien, because that's not how we know that's not how they refer to them. It's like the low-key worst part about it. Obviously the worst part is, hey, she's practically dead at this point, you know. Everyone's forgotten her and she can't wake up. She's practically dead, which is distressing. But hopefully they defeat the gluttony dude and it gets undone. Hopefully. I'm not confident in that. I'm really not. I guess, no, maybe it wouldn't be, because when they defeated the whale, the people who got erased by the whale didn't get remembered. Oh, that's distressing. How the hell are they going to get her back? That's not the point of this review. Although, how the hell are they going to get her back is a key problem. Amelia basically cheers up, Subaru, we'll call it. He says, basically, get some goddamn rest, because you're going to do something to fix this. And, you know, you don't want your body giving up when you do it. It's sort of like the Rem's From Zero speech, kind of, with the whole, hey, you can do things, but, it's not exactly the same, obviously. It's nowhere near as impactful, for instance. Don't bear the burden alone, I want to bear it with you. Amelia's great, you know. I love Rem to death. Amelia's alright too. She's not bad. I think I've said that before. She wants to save him this time. He says... He says something like I'm glad it was you, and I'm like, what was that in reference to? Like, are you glad it was her that you fell in love with? What are you talking about, Subaru? Are you glad it was her that was alive, that you saved? That's a bit iffy. I hope it wasn't that second one. But yeah, then Subaru says, hey, turn around, I'm going to cry. And then she does, and then he does. A lot of tears from old Subaru. She gives him a small little hug. Wouldn't even call it really a hug, it was sort of like a hug. It was like a motherly hug, I think we'll call it. And then Subaru basically swears that I'm going to save you, Rem, and it's going to be great. So yeah, Subaru will save Rem at some point. Please. 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 But yeah, that was where the episode ended. It was a long episode as well. It was like half an hour long, 28 minutes or so, which is more than a regular. Although the first season was also quite long. Basically, what they done is they built Rem up and made her super likable. Everyone likes Rem. And then they were just like, now you're going to feel sad. Look at what we're going to take her away from you now. Straight away. How do you feel? And I'll tell you how I feel. I feel, you know, I feel fine. ReZero's back. I'm fine, guys. I'm fine. But yeah, no, that was the end of the episode. It was a good episode. It was a good reintroduction immediately into stuff. It was like, stuff's going bad now. It's sort of like the first episode of the first one was double length because the first half, what did the first half end with? Subaru dying? I can't even remember the first episode of the first season. I think it ended with Subaru dying, in which case you'd be like, oh, what the hell? What's going on? I guess that would still be a hook. What the hell? He's back. But this time it's like, stuff's going down immediately. Here's some new villains. Here's Rem getting, who's remmed. You know, a lot of stuff going down, and it's hype, my dude. That's what I can describe it as. It is hype, and I'm excited to see where we go next. I think from next week I'm not gonna know what's going on, so like I'll probably be far more reactionary because you know I sort of knew what was going on this week. But it was still good. You know, that's the thing. Even knowing stuff, seeing how it's animated and stuff, still really good. But no, going into next week, completely blind. So don't spoil. You know, that's not cool. Don't do that. But yeah, this was a good episode. I chose Rem as the thumbnail because I probably won't get to do it again in this season. So there's the answer for that. Usually I like doing episode 1 be the main character, but I was like, should probably be Rem this episode, shouldn't it? Probably should be Rem. But yeah, no, we'll wrap this up here. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.